everyone to a brand new season of the Teacher Surgery. Let's go. All right, as you could already tell, this season we've got brand new guests, we've got brand new topics, and we're just going to build from what we had last season. And right now, we've got a special guest in the building. We've got Tricky in the building.
Thank you.
For those that don't know who Tricky is, right, the reason why he's important here is because he kind of represents a lot of what we say on the Teacher Surgery, right? This is someone that's come from the roads, someone that made a music empire with they had Mashtown, somebody that's well known within that musical mogul, well, I would say that, and then went on to just do positive things, went on to the social media world, entrepreneur. He's been doing podcasts way longer, one of the pioneers of UK podcasts, social commentator, a big UK social commentator, and right now he's doing big things with people in, with kids, with schools and things like that. So Tricky, welcome back. Welcome here, man.
God bless. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
So I was saying, I've got a personal question anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, where did the name Tricky come from?
Just from being a bit of a tricky character. Yeah. Just being always up to something and probably being always up to something and getting away. And my mates used to be like, "Oh gosh, he's a bit of a tricky one."
So
do you get what I'm saying? So that was it.
So you're saying that you've always kind of had that, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, in earlier episodes, we talk about grooming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, was badness always in you? Or was it something that you kind of was groomed into?
It was always in me because I had older brothers.
Okay.
So I didn't have olders on the street to look at. It's just like my son's got me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So he past me is just anything.
Yeah.
But I had older brothers who were bad. So I just kind of, from in the house, just followed them and just done naughty little things.
Was it like that from like secondary school or primary
Oh,
school?
from primary school, man. I think I stole, like, in the seaside money. And they got to put like, and I think I made like £46 and I thought I was
£46 in primary school?
Yeah, bro. But I never forget, and I bought everyone sweets.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, the teacher's like, "Who's buying all these sweets?" And it's like, "Yeah, him." And so I was always just a bit, but I like to say naughty because you get bad kids and you get naughty kids. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're mixing them together. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially in schools, the naughty kid's sitting there and he's in trouble. Yeah. And the bad kid's there and he's done some. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're both in the same room and the teachers are putting you together. So that's kind of...
And naughtiness doesn't always equate to violence and crime, though,
No, I was just wild. I think I was like 9 and they was like, "Do you think he needs to see a psychiatrist?" My mum was like, "No, he's just got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He's just loud and, do you know what I mean? We just need to..."
Was you ever diagnosed with anything when you said the energy thing, like ADHD or anything?
No, I've got to check myself, because I've seen a few people. I've seen a few people come out and be like, "I've been diagnosed with ADHD," and a couple of their symptoms, I'm like, I've got a bit of that. But
it's not too late, Honestly, it'll give you a bit of closure.
You reckon?
A lot of people do it in adulthood, man.
Yeah,
just to see how you like work things, how your brain works, and you can look back and think, "Oh, okay, that's why I've been like this all this time,"
Well, I need that, and I'll put it out there. I'm trying to go into therapy myself. Because everyone needs it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, it'll be a good thing to think about.
Now, my second question I've got for you is, honestly, I look at you and I think, this guy, man, he's got an entrepreneurial headset, like just that mindset. And how do you keep? Just tell me a bit about Mashtown, actually. First, start from that. But then, when that kind of quietened down, how did you get into the next phase of like what you do, and how was that movement?
Well, as I say, I coming from the streets and being bad, I knew I had a hold over people. Everyone's got their youngers, they got their oldest. So I knew I had a hold over people. So I could be in the area and have a hold over like 50 kids and just say, "You know what, do this, do that," and they'll do it. So I always thought I wasn't ever, as I said, I'm going to repeat, I wasn't a bad person. So I didn't just want to tell them to do bad things. So I started to think, do you know what? If they're going to listen to me, because just like a lot of guys in a lot of areas, we have the power to make kids do bad things. So we have to use that power just to make them do good. And I thought, they believe me. They're honestly saying, "We know you was there, Tricky. We know you was on the streets with us." So I think, you know what? I've got the tools to actually, where they're not going to say, "You weren't from there. We're going to get past that stupidness."
You've already got the stamp of approval.
Stamp of approval. It just matters what you do with it. Do you get what I'm saying? So I thought, you know what? Let me just speak a better word and tell them the God's honest truth.
Mm.
Because no one doesn't tell them the God's honest truth. We told them about the clothes, we told them about the monies. They can see all these things,
Yeah.
but we got to tell them the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
And I just thought, why not? And you got to be brave to do it because don't get me wrong, the world's not happy that you do that because when you do that and you talk how I talk, you shine a light on the people that are not doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? And you shine a light, and these people could be your peers who you was once standing side by side with.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's hard, but it's rewarding.
So what would you say that you're actually doing then? To those that don't know, what is Chicky 2024? What is Chicky about right now?
What am I about? Someone said this the other day. Well, what is your actual plan? And you know what's so crazy? My actual plan is to even in the schools, even in the prisons, even in the police stations, everyone work a bit harder and stop putting the naughty kids with the bad kids. Because they do it in court. One kid goes in there and the next kid goes in there. But one's gone in there because he's really bad and he stabbed someone. And the other one's gone in there because he's just stole something. We've got to stop putting them in the same place.
So you're talking about actually not just lumping everyone that
in the
is
same
naughty
place
or bad in the same place.
Yeah.
There's actually an echelon system. And you're saying that actually it makes the people that are on the peripheral go even deeper into it. Because now you're like, okay, you're putting me with these lot. I might as well act like these lot.
If I put him in the room next door with the bad child, and it's them two in the head teacher's office together, they're going to talk.
Yeah.
If you put them in cells together in prison, they're going to talk.
Well, that's what they say.
Do you know what I mean?
I know there's kind of arguments for it, but I've heard that argument about prisons, you know, and even me myself, I've got peers, friends growing up that I know that they've gone to prison, they come back better than they come back worse.
Because I've been in prison and I was in prison for driving.
Yeah.
I was in for a driving offense.
Yeah.
But they put me in the room with a murderer.
I mean, I laugh, but I laugh.
I just took a little car. This guy took a life.
That's almost like a comedy skit. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny because that's something that can change. That literally, you got in there, and the next thing you know, or even if it was like some top class drug dealer, whatever the case is, you got in there for something so minuscule, and now look at that.
You get to speak to them. You get to sit down with them, and you're spending 23 hours in one room with a murderer. What's he got to talk about?
But let me ask you then. So, what is it that made you? Because there's a lot of, obviously, as you're, as we're all getting older, right? So you're not the 16-year-old, 17-year-old Chicky.
No, of course not.
You're not the young Mashtown Chicky anymore,
of course
whatever
not.
the case is. But what made you make that diversion? What was it? What would you say it was thinking? Was it just natural growth? Or was it that you saw something in your life? A lot of people, it's religion.
I've been doing this for about 8 years. I'm not really religious. I just know someone's upstairs.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
And not to say it's religion. It doesn't have to be religion. I'm saying a lot of people, it could be religion. It could be someone dying, like their mom.
Oh,
it could be an
yeah.
elder, something. What was it about the roads? What was it that made you think, nah, let me be a bit more responsible. Let me change the way I'm doing things. Let me look at...
A lot of my friends dying. I've lost about 15 to 20. I've been to about 30 funerals.
That is sad.
Do you get what I'm saying? In my age, I was talking about the other day, I've been to 2 weddings and about 30 funerals.
Yeah.
And about 15 to 20 were my friends.
That's sad, bro.
Growing up, one day you see him, next day he's gone.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And just seeing the after effects, man, seeing the mums at the funeral, seeing the mums a year later when everyone's cracked on with their life. And I'm just analysing it and saying, damn, everyone says this thing is for life, innit? But it's not. Do you get what I'm saying? Because once he's gone, he's gone. And everyone just cracks on with their life and just gets on with it. And him as well, my son.
When you say him, you mean your son?
Yeah, my son. Yeah. Sorry, off camera. My son's there. And my son was, even though my daughter was a little bit, but my daughter, I'm just got worried about you getting pregnant. Do you get what I'm saying? I've got to worry about, with my son, now with a daughter, you just got to worry about pregnancies. And
I love the way you went back to that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
but with a daughter, because I know they're laughing. Because it's like, with a daughter, you worry about her getting pregnant and worry about, and I knew it was deeper than that, because even though my daughter's not in no gangs or anything, she's got to meet a boy. So overall, I've got to try and make sure all of these kids are great, because you can do all your work at home, but your child has to meet my child one day.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
My child has to meet your child. Yeah. So I've got to pattern up these other children. Ask him when he goes out and say, son, don't worry. Dad, why can't I go here? Don't worry, it's not about you. I trust you. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So then I have to think, I've got the power to do this. Let me try and do this. And let me try and, even children that I'm not in contact with, let me try and make them have a different sort of thought. And do you know what I mean?
as we're about to wrap up a bit, yeah, I just got one more question for you. So, in terms of what you're doing and where you're at now, if you had somebody powerful said, "Rah, Chicky, we're going to give you the funds and the power to do what you want to do," what would you ask for?
What would I ask for?
Yeah.
What, in terms of funds?
Yeah, funds, but in terms of like
what I would want to do with it.
Yeah, if you could, yeah. What
do you know my overall plan? And I know it sounds crazy. Yeah, it's gonna sound crazy. My overall plan is to be that guy that when there's guys on the streets having their isms and schisms, because I know a lot of them. Come to me. You come to me. And let me sit in the middle and this, that, and the other. But it's going to take some big heads to come to this table and do that. That's my overall plan. And you know what people say to me? I said to someone the other day and they goes, Tricky, that's impossible. And I said to him, are you a millionaire? He said, no. I goes, but do you think you can make $1 million? He goes, yeah. I goes, but bro, you ain't even got $5,000. So how is it impossible? How is it not impossible to make $1 million? But it's impossible for you to stop crime.
It's the mindset.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the mindset. And we're not trying to totally, I'm not an idiot. I'm not delusional.
What you just said though is not impossible because not even, honestly, that actually happens a lot in the older systems. So whether it was I know that in ancient times, even like back home, you've got communities when there's even tribal wars or disputes, you've got the elders that come and they say, look, let's fix this.
I learned it from the old times. I learned it from the documentaries. We've always had that. And that's what,
honestly, the so-called, the elders, the road thing, that's what the elders were there for as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Tricky. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Honestly, everything you had to say was beautiful, especially with the teacher surgery. Stay back, we've got the podcast coming through.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
That wraps us up for another interview. Like I said, we're giving you the best of the best new season of the teacher surgery. Let's get it next time. Okay, people, let's go.